Welcome to Age of Aquarius, Soul Activation Temple. Yeah, through soul activations, guided meditations, and crystalline codes, we return to who we truly are, which is light in form. You are here because your soul is ready. So welcome home. At a basic level, pattern recognition is how the brain predicts reality. At a more advanced level, it becomes field perception. When pattern recognition accelerates, three things tend to happen. We stop seeing isolated events and begin to see recurring structures. Cause and effect becomes less linear and more relational. Even meaning appears before explanation. This is not imagination and is in fact a shift from object based cognition to systems cognition, which is the recognition and integration of the understanding that all is connected. Highly sensitive observers, especially those oriented towards symbolism, archetypes, or cosmology, often experience synchronicity clusters where synchronicities no longer happen as a singular event but occurs as a sequence or series of meaningful events and tend to happen during periods of heightened emotion, personal crises, and major life transitions. There could also be a sense of compression, as if many timelines are converging. And even if we debate these interpretations in sensation, they are real in experience. A key insight here is to remember that time doesn't so much speed up as information density increases, which is when more meaningful insight, content, and change happens per unit of experience or data. This gives us the feeling that time is moving faster. Examples of these would be rapid technological advances, global synchronization, cognitive overload, and cultural collapse, and reformation happening simultaneously. And during times like this, our nervous system is processing more pattern per moment, so subjective time compresses. This creates the sensation of momentum, the feeling of approaching a different dimension or new modes of perception. It becomes a threshold where old models stop explaining experience. Signs of this threshold approaching includes paradoxes becoming normal, where contradictory truths coexist, where old identities dissolve, a sense of standing between worlds, and even differently explaining what we know in linear language. And this can feel destabilizing because the map no longer matches the territory. Often we realize that this is not just a personal, but rather a collective or shared experience. These large-scale transitions often shows up first as anxiety, without a cause, a sense of anticipation, the return of mythic language through symbolism, cycles and awakenings, and where polarization and convergence seem to happen at the same time. This system can cause a phase shift, and we can think of it as water just before boiling, or even a culture right before redefining itself. And so we don't really enter a new dimension physically, rather, we enter another mode of coherence. It is important to note that pattern recognition has a shadow, because when pattern recognition increases, it becomes crucial to balance it with embodiment, because the body anchors truth, to balance it with skepticism and not cynicism, and even to rest, because pattern overload causes distortion. Too much unfiltered pattern recognition can feel prophetic but becomes disorienting, and so the difference between insight and overinterpretation is regulation. And perception is adapting to higher complexity faster than our narratives can update, and feels like momentum, acceleration, and a threshold. And so to follow is an activation that honors the soul's boundlessness while explicitly anchoring it into form, mass, time, and responsibility. Receive it slowly as you allow it to move through your body, as you support the soul in its expansion whilst earthbound. And as you gently close your eyes, take a breath that reaches till the bottom of your lungs. Let the exhale be long enough that your body sighs on its own. Feel the gravity, not as force to escape, but as an oath, a covenant, a pledge. Now say inwardly, I am safe to be vast while remaining here. Let the word here land in your hips, in your legs, and in your feet. I am safe to be vast while remaining here. I am safe to be vast while remaining here. Although the soul is not bound by mass, density, form, or function, you are also here because of form, mass, density, and function. Now gently say, I do not dissolve my body to free my soul. I inhabit my body so that my soul can move. Feel how that sentence settles your nervous system. I do not dissolve my body to free my soul. I inhabit my body so that my soul can move. This leap of faith is not upward, it is inward and downward at the same time. Bring attention to the center of your chest. Now sense, rather than imagine, a presence there. A presence that is spacious, quiet, alert, unmoving. This is not an image. It is a field of awareness. Now allow that field to expand through your ribs, through your spine, through your limbs, through your skin. Let it extend beyond your body, keeping one thread of attention anchored in your breath. Now say, my soul may travel, but my breath remains. Your breath is the tether. Your breath is the return path. Your soul is not confined to this body. Perception can move beyond linear space. Awareness can exceed identity. Now say this slowly. I do not abandon form to know infinity. I bring infinity into form. Feel the subtle strength of that sentence. I do not abandon form to know infinity. I bring infinity into form. As you ground this covenant, place one hand on your lower belly. This is the anchor point of incarnation. And now gently say, as perception expands, embodiment deepens. As awareness widens, presence stabilizes. As my soul remembers, my body stays. Allow your legs to feel heavy. Allow your feet to feel physical. If sensations arise, such as heat, light, emotion, stillness, let them move through you. Now gently allow the soul field to expand again, further this time, with no effort and no direction. And simultaneously feel the weight of your bones, the contact points of your body, the room you are in, the time you are in. Now gently say, I leap and I land. I expand and I arrive. Nothing essential leaves. This is the leap of faith, trusting that you don't disappear when you expand. Let the field settle naturally. Not shrinking, not closing, simply inhabited. Now say, I choose integration over intensity. I choose presence over spectacle. I choose to love what I perceive. And as you take one final deep breath in, exhale slowly. And when you are ready, you can gently open your eyes. As you go about your day, notice something ordinary and solid. This is not a failure of expansion. This is its completion, a quiet truth to carry forward, is that the soul does not ask you to leave the body. It asks you to be large enough to stay, because expansion without grounding fragments, and grounding without expansion stagnates. You, beloved, are learning the third way, which is boundless awareness, fully embodied. So to follow is a daily micro practice. It is a usable architecture for living through expansion and staying embodied while perception widens. It can be done anywhere, and its purpose is not to activate you, but to keep your nervous system ahead of your awareness. This practice is for you to anchor, to expand, and to return. As you anchor yourself, place your attention on your feet, on your breath, on your jaw, on your pelvis. Now say inwardly, I am in a body. I am on earth. I am here now. Feel into it. Now let your awareness widen gently beyond the skin in all directions. No imagery is required. Just allow more. Softly say, I allow perception to expand at the speed my body can integrate. If anything intensifies, slow the breath and return to the feet. Because expansion that destabilizes is information arriving without containment. Now consciously bring your awareness back into your body. Feel your spine, your heart, your hands, your feet. Softly say, I bring what I perceive back into my life. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and remember that this return is important because without it, insight remains abstract. This practice trains you to expand without losing coherence.